Sydney Opera House. Have you heard of it? If you're lucky enough to be heading along to a show here, let me give you a word of advice, all right? Leave the selfie stick at home and bring your appetite. The Sydney Opera House is one of the most recognisable and iconic buildings on the planet, making it an epic venue to catch a show. It's also home to some of the best dining options in the city too, served up with Sydney's best views. Now, when most people think of the Opera House, they think of Crowded House, Prince, even the Foo Fighters. I think of this guy, Matt Moran, mainly because he always gets me a table. Thanks for having lunch with me.
My pleasure. Be careful, though. Everyone's going to be contacting me now for a table.
I know. His number is 04. Mate, it's so nice to be here. I love this place.
Mate, great having you here.
Yeah, and tell us how long you've been involved in the Opera House Precinct for, as I eat some of this.
I've been here, well, we started Opera Bar in 2002, so that's a very long time. But, you know, when it came up, you know, who wouldn't? Like, look at this spot. It's seriously the best spot in the world.
Location obviously makes the Opera Bar a clear winner on the restaurant scene, but it does serve up much more than just jaw-dropping views. Tell us what the focus on the menu is.
Look, it's really sort of snacky food. You know, if you want to come in and have a drink, or if you actually want to have an entree and a main course, you very well can. But also, you know, we do beautiful seafood platters, hot and cold. I just love having a little bit of raw fish, you know, whether it's sashimi, some oysters, and a little bit of marinated fish over there. To me, it's just the absolute best.
After that feast, you can work it off with a stroll around the neighbouring Botanic Gardens. I normally get annoyed with those people who take a picture of somewhere beautiful and then hashtag office for the day, but you, Paul, could probably be the only person in Australia that could get away with it.
Yeah, for the last 27 years, this has been my office. And it is an office in the oldest Botanic Gardens in the country.
How do you score a location like this and keep it?
Yeah, well, look, it's an interesting history. So Europeans arrived just around the corner from here at Sydney Cove. They come in boats loaded with plants and animals. They're looking for a place to start growing plants and grazing those animals. And a series of decisions after that have meant we have a Botanic Gardens on the most expensive piece and the most glorious piece of real estate in the country. With the Opera House,
I know,
right as our next door neighbour.
You can maybe have a stroll, a show, then pop back here and keep an eye on the Prime Minister, see if he's doing his job.
Absolutely, it's the perfect place to hang out after you've been to the Opera House.
Opened back in 1816, it's the oldest Royal Botanic Gardens in the country and is constantly evolving, with this unique structure created to celebrate its 200th birthday. Now, my granddad had a glass house, but I feel a little bit insensitive, Paul, calling this a glass house. What do you call it?
No, we still call it a glass house, and I appreciate your glass house envy, but it's actually called the Calyx. It's a horticultural display centre, and it's our opportunity to really feature plants and their stories in this amazing space. It includes the largest internal green wall in the Southern Hemisphere, so we've got 18,090 plants arranged to create a picture to advertise this display, which is all about colour and plants.
'Cause you're the real thing.
Back at the Opera House, and time to taste test another dining option. Now, it's hard to go past Portside for a seriously good meal without the fine dining price tag. Portside's menu focuses on fresh seasonal produce and, thanks to its alfresco location, under the Opera House sails, if you don't mind, you'll have prime position for a magic Sydney sunset. The truly great thing about dining at Portside under the sails of the Opera House is you can really relax into your meal. You see, the food is dictated by the theatre time, so you'll never miss the show. Now, as a Sydney local, I know there's plenty of options in the city and elsewhere to dine, but for some reason, you're always drawn back to the view. So if you don't mind, we've got a show to get to. Post-show, it's worth heading back to the Opera Bar for a nightcap with live music every day of the week.
I know a woman's place.